In this video, we are going to talk about early signs she's not the right woman for you. So before starting this video, please like this video, and subscribe to our channel for the future updates. We've spent a lot of time talking about the things that good guys don't do and the things that they need to improve on. However, we must remember that relationships have two sides, and men must be aware of what to look for in women as well. Every time you write an essay about how men should act, someone, usually a guy, asks when you'll talk about women. The truth is that guys are accustomed to pursuing women, so when she reciprocates our interest, it's natural to disregard the red flags because she makes us feel wanted or because she is attractive. However, we must train ourselves to slow down and be honest with ourselves. Does she show any of these warning signs? Here's a list of the early signs she's not the right woman for you. Let's start. She puts you last, every time. Even with the right lady, you won't always get your way in a relationship. You will, however, feel seen and heard in a healthy relationship. Even if you fight, you'll be aware that it's for a good reason. When a lady is the incorrect match for you, though, you may feel overlooked, pushed aside, or mistreated. You'll get the impression that you're an afterthought in her life. She always puts you last and expects you to meet her demands no matter what. If you try to blame her for everything, you're the one who is toxic. But if she never accepts responsibility, that's another story. Because it develops a toxic system of resentment and anxiety when one partner tries to avoid responsibility or blame for things. It leads to a form of relationship point scoring that turns them into catastrophe zones. She's critical and constantly nags you. There will be disagreements and tensions in every relationship. However, if she is always critical and nagging you, it is one of the unpleasant symptoms that she is not the appropriate lady for you. Because, let's face it, life is too short to spend it with someone who is constantly tearing you down. This is especially unpleasant when it's a close friend or family member who is undermining and lashing out at you. We already live in a society that performs much too much judgment and labeling. Is it really necessary for your girlfriend or wife to join in? In a relationship, it's simply not something you should have to deal with. Date nights have totally disappeared. When you love someone, you want to spend as much time with them as possible. You don't when you're not. If you used to go on date nights with this girl and now you can't seem to find the time or energy, it's one of the most telling signals she's not the proper woman for you. The ideal woman will motivate you on a deep level, no matter how busy you are. If you have to move heaven and earth to make time for her, you will. The incorrect woman will make you feel indifferent, if not outright annoyance. Going out with her or doing anything special with her will become more of a chore than a pleasure. This is a massive red flashing warning light. She makes you feel the need to hide who you really are. When you feel the need to hide who you are around her, it's one of the most sad signals she's not the proper lady for you. Are you a conservative and she is a liberal? Do you feel compelled to minimize this? Is she entirely focused on starting a family, whereas you wish to concentrate on your career? Do you pretend to agree with her and share her priorities in order for her to be more interested in you? No, this is not acceptable, my friend. You may work with differences of opinion or various life paths. It's one thing to feel the need to conceal who you are, but it's quite another to feel the need to censor who you are. It's like trying to construct a symphony with someone who despises violins and pretending to despise them as well in order to be validated. It's not going to happen. She's extremely emotionally needy. We all have emotional needs and a want to bond and be intimate with others. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. However, we engage in a type of manipulation and self-deception when we place unrealistic expectations on another person in a relationship. It's not sensible, and it always ends in disaster. That's why being overly emotionally needy is one of the most horrible signals she's not the ideal lady for you. There's a big difference between her being nice and loving to you and her expecting you to spoil and emotionally coddle her. One is an important part of any adult relationship. The other is a classic indicator of codependency, in which you are expected to rescue, or comfort, her in a way that would offer her with some sort of approval. It's a wager that you'll never win. She makes you feel desperate for affection and validation. One of the worst aspects of love relationships is that they may turn into a horrible trap that exposes our deepest anxieties and unsolved traumas. Far too frequently, instead of being the love of our dreams, our relationships devolve into the toxic quicksand of our nightmares. The cause is straightforward, yet it needs considerable effort and concentration to resolve. The reason for this is that we are too eager to find love without first laying a solid foundation. The truth is that most individuals ignore an extremely crucial aspect of their lives: their relationship with themselves. She tries to control every part of your life. There are many myths about women who try to dominate their boyfriends out there. There's a reason stereotypes exist. This type of woman does exist, and she's a nightmare. It's completely acceptable to ask your spouse to make changes, compromise, or listen to what you're saying. When it becomes toxic, scary, and miserable, though, it crosses the line into controlling them. Nobody has the authority to dominate and force another person to feel or act in a particular manner. When you react or act in a specific way as a man solely out of fear, shame, or obligation, you're committing emotional self-harm. It makes no difference what excuse you give yourself or how persuasive this lady is in persuading you to shut up and do what she says. She's too busy. Work can be stressful, family affairs must be attended to, and errands must be completed, but if the lady in your life is continually disappearing, it's time to call it quits. Many people believe that if a woman is interested in a man, she will make time for him. If there's always another person, event, or obligation taking up more of her time, it's a clear indication that you're not as high on her priority list. When it comes to ideals and worldview, opposites do not attract. Overcoming her passion for the Red Sox, as a die-hard Yankees fan, may be sports death. Other difficulties, such as, if you have different religions and this can't be reconciled, or, if you have different ways of handling money and costs, are more problematic, according to those who believe these differences can cause complications. It's always about her. Your woman wants to talk about the Kardashians since you received a promotion, yay. Does this ring a bell? Instead doesn't care about you when you're thrilled about your work or life ambitions, but she shifts the focus to her own hobbies. People say that this is a solid evidence that she is self-centered. If this is the case, then jump ship now to save the hassle of being associated with someone who doesn't care. Hint: if she's interested, she'll ask more questions. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoy this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.